The ocean has always been seen as a realm of mystery. But when we talk about disappearances, we usually think of deep waters, dark abysses, places where sunlight never reaches. But this case is different, because it happened in shallow water, clearly visible, less than 4 meters deep. And even so, a diver simply vanished. No strong current, no storm, no sign of an attack. He entered the water and never came back. This is the real story of the diver who disappeared when no one should ever disappear. It was an ordinary morning. The sea was calm. Visibility was excellent. The kind of day perfect for recreational diving. The group was small, for experienced friends, all certified divers, used to coastal dives. They chose a well-known spot in the region, famous for its submerged rock formations and abundant marine life. Nothing extreme, nothing dangerous, nothing unusual. The maximum depth in that area did not exceed 5 meters. It was practically a natural swimming pool. Among them was Daniel, 34 years old, experienced, cautious, known for never breaking safety protocols. He checked his gear twice, monitored his air, tested his regulator, reviewed hand signals with the group. Everything was normal. They entered the water at approximately 10:17 a.m. The plan was simple. Explore the rock formations for about 40 minutes and return. The first 15 minutes were perfect. Colorful fish moved between the rocks. Sunlight pierced the surface, creating golden patterns on the sand. Visibility extended beyond 10 meters. They stayed close to one another until Daniel signaled. He pointed to a small crevice between 2 rocks. Nothing unusual. Crevices often shelter octopus, lobsters, small schools of fish. He signaled that he was going to take a closer look. One of his friends nodded. Daniel swam. A few meters forward. The crevice wasn't deep. It wasn't a dark hole. It was just a narrow opening between rocks, visible from both sides. He leaned in, shined his flashlight, and then he disappeared. There were no abnormal bubbles rising, no sudden movement, no struggle. He was simply no longer there. At first, his friends assumed he had swum around the rock. They circled it. Nothing. They looked upward. Nothing. The area was small, open, without extended tunnels. In less than 30 seconds, the recreational dive turned into a desperate search. They surfaced, calling his name. Silence. They immediately descended again. They searched behind the formations, examined the crevice. It led nowhere. It was shallow. There was no internal passage. There wasn't enough space for an adult body to pass through. But Daniel was nowhere to be. Rescue teams arrived quickly. Professional divers swept the area centimeter by centimeter. Nothing. No trace. No loose equipment. No broken pieces. His air tank was never found. His body was never recovered. The ocean currents in the region were weak. Experts stated that even if he had lost consciousness, the body could not have been carried far without leaving evidence. The area was isolated. Sonar was used. Underwater cameras were inserted into the crevices. Nothing. It was as if he had been removed from the water, as if he had been erased from the scene. The theories began. Accidental drowning. But where is the body? Carried away by an unexpected current. But tidal data showed complete stability. Marine animal attack. No sign of blood. No violent movement. No local species capable of such an event. Trapped in an unknown underwater cave. No mapped caves exist there. And divers examined every inch of the rock structure. Some began to whisper something stranger. Older residents of the area spoke of breathing crevices, places where tidal pressure creates subtle, invisible suction flows capable of pulling objects inward. But that didn't explain a complete disappearance. No bubbles, no resistance, no debris, nothing. The most disturbing detail emerged days later. One of the divers admitted something he hadn't initially told the police. When Daniel shined his flashlight into the crevice, he hesitated, as if he had seen something that caught his attention. He remained still for a second longer than normal. Then he tilted his body slightly forward. That was the exact moment he vanished from the group's sight. But the crevice wasn't deep enough to swallow him, unless what they were seeing wasn't the full structure. Years later, geologists analyzed images of the area and suggested that certain limestone formations can contain unstable pockets, collapsible passages, or hidden chambers that seal after displacement. A kind of natural trap. Rare, extremely rare, but possible. Still, no collapse was ever detected. No structural failure. No later alteration in the rock. The formation remained intact. The case eventually went cold. Officially, it was classified as drowning with an unrecovered body. Then, unofficially, none of those who were there believe that explanation. One of them never dove again. Another moved away. The third avoids speaking about it. They say the most terrifying part wasn't the disappearance. It was the total absence of explanation. The ocean is deep. The ocean is vast. The ocean is dangerous. But that day, it was less than 5 meters deep. Bright daylight, witnesses nearby, perfect visibility, and still an experienced man leaned into a shallow crevice. Never came out. No body, no trace, no answers. Perhaps the most frightening thing isn't what exists in the great depths. Perhaps it's what can be hidden, right in front of our eyes, in shallow water. If you were disturbed by this real case and want more unexplained ocean mysteries, leave a comment, because the sea holds more secrets than we are prepared to understand, and some of them don't want to be found.